700. Beautiful instrument. And blonde jazz guitars are very popular, and Guild makes really nice ones. Guild's factory is in Rhode Island. It's a family-owned business until Fender bought the company in the 90s, I believe. They're made in Corona now, here in California. And their acoustic guitars, which were always American guitars up until now, they're making them in China, some of the models now. I do believe that their higher end Guild designs are still American. Anyway, this guitar has a solid spruce top. Now, a lot of jazz guitars have a plywood top, which deadens the sound, but that's okay if you want to have an electric guitar that you don't want to have feedback very much. So you're relying more on the sound of the pickups rather than the body of the guitar being very acoustic. Well, this guitar happens to have a solid spruce top, so it's louder when you're just sitting around playing it unamplified. Not necessarily the most ideal thing that you want if you're going to be playing with an ensemble with drums and bass and you want to crank it up a bit. It would have a tendency to feed back in a situation like that if you got the volume too loud. Outside of that, it has beautiful tone. I've always loved these guitars. They're kind of like the little brother of the Gibson L5 in that the L5 is a $12,000 dollar guitar now, or at least tens of thousands, especially for an old vintage one. And these Guilds you can buy for reasonable amounts, maybe between $2,000 and $4,000. Now, to the average kid out there, that sounds like a lot of money, but for a good jazz guitar, which is like buying a Steinway piano or having a quality piano in your house, it's the same thing for a gentleman who wants to play guitar and just enjoy the mere fact that he's a musician. You look forward to coming home to a really nice instrument. It's a pleasure to play, yeah. Anyway, I'm just making up some stuff. It's a lot of fun. Other thing about this guitar that's real striking is the fact that it's got 9-layer pinstriping there in the binding. There's actually 9 stripes of binding in there. It's got a ebony fretboard, beautiful flame maple. This figured maple in stripes like that is called flame maple. There's a few different types of maple that are popular on guitar. There's quilted maple, which has like squares or circles with this ornate kind of like pattern through it. And there's also koa wood from Hawaii, which is a type of maple that's flamed like this. And there's bird's eye maple with little, it looks like knots and little fish eyes everywhere in the wood. Or, knots, little brown knots, but they call that bird's eye maple. That's very popular. This flame maple on this guitar goes right on up to the end. It's got a beautiful strengthening, stringer, I call those in surfing for a surfboard, but I call them, stringer, so I don't know what the actual word is, but very beautiful, yeah. And it's got the binding on the neck, and authentic mother of pearl inlay, and it's got these like pyramid shapes, triangle shapes inside of each rectangle with a different shade of mother of pearl. Quite a beautiful instrument, gold plated. It's also got this real convenient volume control right here. So what's really good about that, unlike on our standard Gibson, but the Chet Atkins Tennessean Gibson make has a volume control. You don't necessarily need that if you're just going to be adjusting the volume of the front pickup with this right here. But if you're in the middle position and you find some sound that you like between these two pickups by adjusting the upper and lower volumes of these pickups, say you find a tone that you really like that. Not that I like that, but it's different. Now, instead of reaching over here and trying to turn those identically at the same time, which you physically can't, you just reach over your master volume, and that lowers both of these volumes equally at the same time, so you can continue to keep that tone that you found between these pickups and adjust it with the master volume control. And it's conveniently placed, and it's a smaller knob so you don't hit your hand into it. We like that. Guild X700. There you have it.